Hello, everybody, and welcome to 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia, where the 9-1 Lovejoy Wildcats host the 4-6 Tri-Cities Bulldogs in first-round playoff action here in the state of Georgia. Neil Malone with you here on PlayOnSports.com. Both teams coming into tonight's action after shutout wins last week. The Wildcats, they topped Alcoa 56-0 on this very field 1 week ago. That was senior night for Lovejoy, while the Bulldogs come in on the heels of a 35-0 win over Douglas County. Lovejoy, the three-time defending region champs, well, they have been comfortable playing here at home this season. As a matter of fact, they have not lost here all season long, and they also boast the top scoring offense and scoring defense in all of Class 6A coming into tonight's action. The Wildcats led by a couple of premier offensive players. Keep an eye out for tight end Arshad Jackson, an Auburn University commit, and the dynamic running back Travis Custus, who has verbally committed to a school right here in Atlanta. That's Georgia Tech. For the visitors, it's all about the big guys clogging up the middle tonight. Seniors Jeremy Hall and Shamir Devine will play on both sides of the football on the offensive and defensive line for their coach Kenneth Miller. Like Lovejoy's running back Custus, Hall and Devine have given their verbal commitments to Paul Johnson at Georgia Tech, and the deadly duo will play a big part in the Bulldogs' success tonight against a very, very tough opponent here at 12 Oaks Stadium. We're just minutes away from kickoff here in Hampton, Georgia for the first round of the GHSA Football Playoffs. Once again, it's Lovejoy hosting Tri-Cities. That's coming up next on PlayOnSports.com. Well, the clock has hit 0 here at 12 Oaks Stadium. Almost ready for first round playoff action here in the state of Georgia. It'll be the Lovejoy Wildcats wearing the navy blue uniforms with the baby blue helmets. And you have the Tri-Cities Bulldogs in the orange pants with white jerseys. And it looks like the Bulldogs will elect to receive here tonight to kick off action. Lovejoy, once again, three-time defending region champs, 2010, 2011, and 2012. They have taken down their division here in the state of Georgia. Head coach Al Hughes, it's been a well-oiled machine here at 12 Oaks Stadium, and it'll be his team kicking things off here tonight against the Tri-Cities Bulldogs. So from right to left on your screen, it'll be the Lovejoy Wildcats kicking off. And back deep for the visiting Bulldogs. Looks like Demetrius McClendon. It'll be McClendon out to the 15, the 20, and he's tackled at the 22, and that's where Coach Kenneth Miller's team will set up shop to begin this playoff action. Fans still filing in here at 12 Oaks Stadium here in Hampton, Georgia, where the Lovejoy Wildcats call home. Keep an eye on quarterback Kareem Wallace for the Bulldogs. He'll try to get his team going early on the road here in playoff action. 1st and 10 from the 22. Wide receiver at the top of your screen to Kareem Wallace's left. That receiver comes in motion. That's Leandre Mitchell. In the air, up to Mitchell, and he makes the play at the 43-yard line, and he's wrestled out of bounds by number 13 for Lovejoy, Malik Robertson L. So they go to the air early. Wallace connecting with Leandre Mitchell, the 6'1", 180-pound senior. He was the only receiver on that set. That play good for 21 yards to open up the football game. Great start for Kenneth Miller's team on offense. 2 wide receivers set, bottom of your screen. And a fumble. That ball's on the ground. Demetrius McClendon was in at quarterback, and he was able to fall on it. So a little bit of a different look there from Miller's team. And the Bulldogs, officially a loss of 2, 2nd and 12 from the 41-yard line, 11:04 to play in the first quarter here in Hampton, Georgia. McClendon from the shotgun formation, split out wide. At the bottom of your screen is Leandre Mitchell. And flags are down on the field. Looks like this one will be a false start on the offense. That'll move it back 5 yards. 2nd and 17 upcoming from the 36-yard line. An early penalty for the visiting Bulldogs. McClendon from the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Quick pass to the outside and lit up for a loss of yardage on the far side. That was Vion Robinson, the defensive end for the Wildcats. And that'll force a 3rd and very long from the 34-yard line. Be about 3rd and 23 upcoming after that big first play that went for 21 yards. Down at the bottom of your screen, Raekwon Morgan. And another flag down on the field. And it'll be a delay. So the Bulldogs just backing themselves up, almost back to where they originally started after that 21-yard pass play. It's now 3rd and 24 from the 29-yard line. And I'm sure you'll see Coach Hughes' defense drop off into a conservative formation here. Split out down below, Leandre Mitchell and Raekwon Morgan. Those are your 2 wide receivers. McClendon, the give. It's to Charles Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks will get it out to the, I'll call it the 35-yard line, and that'll force an early punt. So after that first down on the first play from scrimmage, a good job by the Wildcats defense to get off the field. Back deep for the Wildcats is Brandon Davis. Davis, the senior, at his 32-yard line. And it's a fake early on, caught. Will they get the first down? It looks to be just shy. And the Wildcats have stopped the Bulldogs' trickery and will send their offense onto the field. Very risky play early on by Coach Kenneth Miller. And he was made to pay for it, so the Wildcats will set up shop at the 41-yard line of the Tri-Cities Bulldogs. Alejandro Benefield in at quarterback for Lovejoy. Benefield back to throw, the lefty looking deep, and it's caught at the 3-yard line. That's Jumichael Ramos. So Ramos with a huge catch. And the Wildcats will set up in the red zone. What a throw by the lefty Benefield. Deep into Bulldogs territory. The give, and nice job by the Bulldogs offense or defense to stack it up. That was Travis Custus on the carry. He picked up about a half a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the 4-yard line. Actually, check that. They'll mark it at the 3. Benefield, he'll have his receivers Arshad, Jackson Jumichael Ramos, and Jeff Murphy out there. Custus and Jonathan Griffin in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Custus to Benefield's right, Griffin to his left. The give is to Griffin, and he is stacked up at the 2-yard line after a pickup of 1. It'll be 3rd and goal, 7:50 to play in the first quarter. So no score, but the Wildcats threatening after that huge pass play. That was good for 38 yards. Jumichael Ramos. No huddle here from Lovejoy, who, remember, have the top scoring offense in Class 6A coming in. Ramos in motion. Benefield with the snap, and somebody jumped. It'll be a false start, and that'll push the Lovejoy Wildcats back 5 yards as they go for 3rd and goal. Instead of being at the 2, they'll put that at the 7. If they can't convert, Jamie Nunez, their kicker, will be ready. And the referee has actually, looks like they've reversed the flag to an offsides call on the visitors. So Lovejoy will actually have that ball, that football at the 2-yard line. And it's half the distance of the goal, so they really only have about a yard to go. No score, 7:13 to play. Lovejoy looking to go up 7-0 here at home against the visiting Tri-Cities Bulldogs. Benefield under center. Custus and Griffin in the backfield. In motion comes Ramos, and another flag, and we'll see who jumped. Lots of movement up front so far by both teams. Still 3rd down. Players working out some nerves early on. This Lovejoy Wildcats team, they went all the way to the state championship game last year in Class 4A. And a timeout called by Coach Kenneth Miller. He's got to settle down his guys after some penalties early on. That defense, of course, led by the two Georgia Tech commits, Jeremy Hall and Shamir Devine. And a timeout on the field, so we'll take a break. 6:52 to play, no score. Lovejoy threatening. We'll be right back here on PlayOnSports.com. Let me know when. Welcome back to 12 Oaks Stadium. Neil Malone with you on PlayOnSports.com. 3rd and goal here for the home team, the Wildcats. Alejandro Benefield under center. Travis Custus in the backfield. The give is to Custus, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. 7-0, or 6-0 rather, to Lovejoy. And an early touchdown for the Georgia Tech commit, Custus. That touchdown coming at the 6:48 mark in the first quarter. Extra point upcoming here from Jaime Nunez. Nunez, who handles their punting and kicking duties. The hold is a good one. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0 here at 12 Oaks Stadium. Al Hughes' team leads after that big 38-yard played it down to the 3-yard line. It was Alejandro Benefield hooking up with Jumichael Ramos. Hey guys, join the conversation about high school sports. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at PlayOnSports, hashtag GHSA Football. So that opening scoring drive, 41 yards for the Wildcats. That, of course, came after the Bulldogs tried a fake punt in their own territory. Coach Kenneth Miller trying to catch the home team off guard and make something happen early on, but the Wildcats were able to sniff it out and successfully take it down the field for a pretty quick scoring drive. So with 6:48 to play, Nunez gets set to kick off with a 7-0 lead. A.J. Cummings and Devin Price back deep for the Bulldogs. Nunez's kickoff reaches about the 1-yard line. It's Cummings. Cummings, nice return out to the 35 to the 36-yard line nearly. A.J. Cummings, the sophomore, just 5'6", but showing his speed there and puts his team in a nice, comfortable position to start their second offensive drive. It was Demetrius McClendon in at quarterback that opening drive. In the backfield next to him is Middlebrooks. Split out wide, Raekwon Morgan. It's going to be McClendon, and he is stopped for a loss at about the 34-yard line. It was a quarterback keeper. And the Bulldogs have had a little bit of trouble early on trying to get something going. Checking in for the Wildcats On defense, number 77, Dalen Walker, the big defensive tackle. A.J. Cummings, part of a 4-wide receiver set. Coming in motion is Middlebrooks. He's now into the backfield. McClendon takes the snap. He fumbles it. It's picked up. And a big turnover here by the Bulldogs. It's returned all the way down to the 25-yard line by Lovejoy. And it's not a good start for the visitors as they go pretty much 3 and out in the first drive and then turn it over in their own territory the second drive. Tell you what, giving this Lovejoy team a short field, the top scoring offense in Class 6A coming in, probably not a great idea. Alejandro Benefield, a dynamic quarterback, kind of a dual threat guy. Empty backfield, 5-wide receiver set. Ramos at the bottom of your screen. Benefield's looking that way, but he's taken down. It's a sack by Marcus Adams. Big number 55 breaking through the offensive line. Loss of 6 on the play, and with 5:24, it'll be 2nd and 16 upcoming from the 31-yard line of the Bulldogs. In a receiver, Jeff Murphy, Michael Ramos, Arshad Jackson, the Auburn commit. Keep an eye on him, number 8 at the bottom of your screen. The give is to Custus. Custus cuts out wide to the 30, now to the 25, to the 24, pushing forward. Nice run by Travis Custus. Pickup of about 7. There is a flag down on the play, though, however. Let's wait and see what the referee has to say. It's going to be a hold on the offense, so that nice run by Custus will come back. Lots of penalties early on in this football game here at 12 Oaks Stadium. 4:51 to play. That'll move Lovejoy all the way back to the 39. Where they'll face a 2nd and 24. Benefield, another empty backfield, 5-wide receiver set. Dropping back, Benefield, he's going to take it himself. 35-30, 25 out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Smart play, taking what the defense gives him there. That's Alejandro Benefield, the senior quarterback, 6'3", 220. Talk about a good quarterback body. And Coach Hughes running that spread 5-wide receiver offense. Arshad Jackson at the top of your screen. Jumichael Ramos at the bottom of your screen. Also in the game, Brandon Davis, Jeff Murphy. And split out wide also the fullback, Jonathan Griffin. A wide open Murphy, and Murphy gets a first down and then some down to the 8-yard line. First down, Wildcats. Benefield hooking up with Murphy for 15 yards on that play. The senior quarterback making it look easy so far. Talk about a dynamic offense with Arshad Jackson, Travis Custus, some of these other athletes like Ramos and Jeff Murphy. The snap out of the shotgun, the give is to Custus. Custus up the middle and into the end zone. Did he get in? There's a flag. The sign is touchdown. And the Bulldogs are pointing towards the Wildcats side of the football. That football might have come out at the 3:53 mark. The referee is conferring at the goal line. See if the ground caused that fumble or if Custus did, in fact, cough it up. And it is a touchdown, 13-0. Lovejoy ahead. So coming on to attempt the extra point, Jaime Nunez. 1 for 1 tonight. Nunez awaits the snap. The hold coming from Jared Williams. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So a 2-touchdown advantage early on here at 12 Oaks Stadium. The Lovejoy Wildcats 14-0 lead over the Tri-Cities Bulldogs. Folks, remember, for all the best coverage of Georgia football throughout the playoffs, go to WSBTV.com. So not one, but 2 touchdowns in the first quarter for Georgia Tech commit Travis Custus. On the season, Custus, well, came into tonight's action with a 159 carries for 1,396 yards. That's 8.7 yards per carry. Came into tonight's action with 24 touchdowns. Well, he's got 26 now. And he has been impressive, no doubt, early on, as has their senior quarterback, Alejandro Benefield. Bulldogs with some mistakes early on, several penalties, pre-snap penalties at that, offsides, false starts, those kind of things. And then a turnover last possession in their own half, which is always a killer. Nunez to kick off from his own 40-yard line. Back is A.J. Cummings. It's a little pooch kick, and it's picked up at the 33-yard line and immediately downed. And that is where the Bulldogs will set up shop with 3:50 to play here in the first quarter in Hampton, Georgia. 14-0. A pair of scores by Wildcats running back Travis Custus. And the Bulldogs just trying to get something going on offense. Demetrius McClendon under center. He's got Leandre Mitchell at the bottom of the screen. In motion is Raekwon Morgan. The give is to Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks 35-40. And a pickup of about 7 on the play by running back Charles Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks had 112 yards rushing last week in their 35-0 win over Douglas County, and he has shouldered the majority of the load thus far. And they're going to tack on a penalty at the end of that run as well, giving the Bulldogs a 1st and 10 now into Wildcats territory at the 45. So a big 15-yard penalty there on Al Hughes' team. Shotgun formation, Morgan at the bottom. Looking outside and lit up. That is DeMarquise Gates. And Gates, the junior linebacker, sniffed out that screen pass all along and made a big hit at the 49-yard line, a loss of 4 on that play. 3:15. 2nd and 14 at the Lovejoy 49. Quarterback Demetrius McClendon trying to get something going. Middlebrooks in the backfield. Split out wide is Morgan and Mitchell. Mitchell comes in motion. McClendon back to throw, looking Mitchell's way. It was a jump ball, and what a catch by Leandre Mitchell. Literally just threw it up there for him. And the 6'1" receiver hauls it in at the 31-yard line. That's an 18-yard pass play. And the second big catch for Mitchell on the night. He's got 2 catches for 39 yards tonight. Can't see it in the distance, but the Tri-Cities band just arrived, adding to this atmosphere. Split out wide is A.J. Cummings. McClendon will have running back Middlebrooks to his left. Out of the shotgun, and an offsides. Showing blitz was Gates, who made that big play earlier. But he slipped as he was charging in to show blitz and fell offside. So another 5 yards, a free 5 yards there for the Bulldogs. And now they are creeping closer to the red zone. 1st and 5 from the 26. McClendon in the shotgun formation. He drops back. Middlebrooks looking to block. Flag thrown. And that was as Vion Robinson came in on the sack. It'll be a hold on the Bulldogs. We'll see what Coach Al Hughes wants to do here, whether he accepts or declines the penalty. And he's going to take it. So we'll redo first down, 1st and 15. And the referee looks like they're still trying to figure out if Coach Al Hughes is accepting that penalty or declining, and as we originally thought, he will accept. So 1st and 15 from the 41. The #1 scoring defense as well for Lovejoy. Their strength of schedule not as high as some other teams, but they get after it. McClendon in the shotgun. Snaps. And the give is to the running back, Antonio Wilcoxon. And Wilcoxon takes it down to the 34-yard line, a pickup of 7 yards. Minute 35 to play, clock ticking. 14-0, Lovejoy in front. The 9-1 Wildcats so far holding serve at home here in the first round of the GHSA Football Playoffs. Neil Malone with you on playonsports.com. McClendon under center. Split out wide is Leandre Mitchell, who's had 2 big catches, and A.J. Cummings, who had a big kick return earlier in the game. In the backfield is Wilcoxon. Throwing the ball deep. He's got Mitchell. And again, it's Leandre Mitchell coming up with the big play that the Bulldogs needed. And that was a first down on 2nd and 13. That one good for 21 yards. And this kid Mitchell's been very impressive catching the football so far. 53 seconds to play and a timeout called by the home team. Coach Hughes going to talk things over. So Coach Kenneth Miller and his Tri-Cities Bulldogs showing a little bit of fight offensively on this drive. It was a drive that started on their 35. And folks, we want to make sure that you join the conversation about high school sports. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at PlayOnSports, hashtag GHSA Football. Again, that's at PlayOnSports, hashtag GHSA Football. 53 seconds to play in the first quarter. Wildcats up 14, but the Bulldogs threatening. And the story on this drive has been Leandre Mitchell, who has caught 2 big-time catches. The senior receiver, 6'1", 180. He's been hard to deal with for Lovejoy on the outside. We'll see if McClendon continues to exploit that matchup from the quarterback position. Middlebrooks sharing the backfield with the fullback Wilcoxon. The lone receiver at the bottom of your screen is Mitchell. The give is to Middlebrooks, and Middlebrooks is sealed up at the 14-yard line. That's Nathaniel Norwood on the tackle. Big number 40. A loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11 with under 30 seconds now to play. Ball on the 14-yard line. So Nathaniel Norwood with a big tackle for a loss there. The give to Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks to the 10, inside the 10, fighting his way down to the 9, and that's where he'll be bottled up. Gain of 5 on the play, and that will do it for the first quarter of play here at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. It's the Lovejoy Wildcats 14 and the Tri-Cities Bulldogs 0 after the first quarter of play. You're listening to Georgia High School football here on Play On Sports. More coming up next.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
Back here for the beginning of the second quarter at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. Under center, or in the shotgun rather, is Demetrius McClendon. He throws out wide, and that ball is picked off. And this one is going to go for a touchdown. McClendon's interception will be taken 90 yards for a touchdown, bursting down the sideline. That looks like Brandon Davis. 20-0 Lovejoy, and talk about a swing of momentum. It was a pass to the outside, and Brandon Davis, the 5'8" senior, wearing the number 3 jersey, makes an impact play on defense, and it goes from possibly a 1-possession game if the Bulldogs were able to punch it in, now to a 3-touchdown ball game at 12 Oaks Stadium. Flags down. And this one's going to go the Bulldogs' way, so it'll be an easier extra point for Jaime Nunez. And that penalty is actually going to be declined, so we're just waiting Nunez to try to punch it through here with 11:42 to play in the second quarter. Yeah, it was McClendon looking out wide, and Davis, as well as one of the other Wildcat defensive backs, read it all the way, and it was Davis taking it to the house. The kick is through. A 3-touchdown advantage for the Lovejoy Wildcats here at home, looking to improve to 10-1. Folks, for live scoring and highlights of all the games Play On Sports is covering, go to www.playonsports.com/football playoffs. Once again, for all the live scoring and the highlights of the games that Play On Sports is covering, go to www.playonsports.com/football playoffs. Nunez trotting out onto the field to kick off for the 4th time this evening. You can hear both bands in full volume. Great atmosphere here at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. First round playoff action here in the Georgia High School Association playoffs. Back deep for the Bulldogs. A.J. Cummings. Nunez's kick will end up in the hands of Cummings. He'll go from his own 5-yard line out to the 15 and hit before the 20. And they are just playing physical, and as a matter of fact, that big hit has Cummings down. Hopefully he's all right. Clearly a big asset for the Bulldogs is Cummings, the sophomore wide receiver. And the training staff will attend to A.J. Cummings with 11:36 to play in the second quarter. And we will take a quick break with that injury timeout. So once again, 21-0 Lovejoy on top of Tri-Cities here on PlayOnSports.com. We'll be back in just a moment for more action here in the second quarter.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Welcome back to 12 Oaks Stadium. Neil Malone with you on PlayOnSports.com, where the Tri-Cities Bulldogs are visiting the Lovejoy Wildcats in the first round of Georgia's high school football playoffs. Friday night lights here at 12 Oaks Stadium. Demetrius McClendon under center, setting up shop for another drive for the Bulldogs. His give is to Middlebrooks in the backfield, and he is immediately met by Vion Robinson. Another big play by Robinson in the backfield, the defensive end for the Wildcats. That one marked as a loss of 4 on the play. And the Lovejoy defense having a good time so far tonight, stopping that run. So 2nd and 14, under 10:50 to play here in the second quarter. Bulldogs will see Demetrius McClendon under center from his own 16. A flag is down. And the penalty will go against the Bulldogs. It'll back them up another 5 yards. 2nd and 19 upcoming. Lovejoy has been impressive in all facets of the game. They've forced 2 turnovers already tonight here in the first half. McClendon, the give, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the run. And that offensive line, led by Georgia Tech commit Shamir Devine, has had some trouble. Well, they may be down 21-0, but the Tri-Cities band on the far side is dancing up in the stands and playing in full volume. Under 10 minutes to play. McClendon under center. Middlebrooks, the tailback. Can he look for Leandre Mitchell again? The snap is fumbled. And all McClendon can do is fall on it at the 11, and that forces a punt. 4th and 18. So they'll be punting out of their own end zone. Chris Hernandez is your punter. And another whistle stopping play. And it looks like a timeout on the field. 21-0 Lovejoy. Scoring summary for you so far. Travis Custus with 2 touchdown runs from close distance in the first quarter. And then early on in the second quarter, it was Brandon Davis returning a Demetrius McClendon interception, 90 yards for a touchdown. So Lovejoy has scored on both sides of the football already. And that is how we got to our 3-touchdown advantage with 9:23 to play in the second quarter. So that was Tri-Cities spending their second timeout of the first half. And once again, it'll be Chris Hernandez, the All-State punter, back to take the snap. The snap is out of the back of the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. So disaster on special teams there from Tri-Cities, and that safety will bring the score to 23-0. It bounced before Hernandez, and you know how difficult it is when a football is bouncing around you. It's hard to judge where the ball is going to go. It went through Hernandez's hands and out of the back of the end zone for a safety. So with 9:16 to play, it's another mistake by Tri-Cities, kind of shooting themselves in the foot in essence. And so it'll be a free kick upcoming for the Bulldogs. And that'll put the ball back in the hands of the Wildcats offense and Alejandro Benefield. Remember, for all the best coverage of Georgia football throughout the playoffs, go to WSBTV.com. That's WSBTV.com. In all honesty, the Wildcats offense has been sitting on the bench for quite some time. The last touchdown they scored was following a long Tri-Cities drive, and it was taken back for a touchdown by the defense. The ball immediately went back again to the Bulldogs offense. So Benefield, Ramos and company have been sitting on the bench for quite some time. They'll get the ball back now. Back deep is Brandon Davis. And Jamichael Ramos. Davis, of course, the man that took that interception return back for a touchdown. It's going to be caught on the far side, and that's Tyrell Brown. And Tyrell Brown will take it all the way out to the 44-yard line. Brown, the senior kick returner. And we're going to get some flags after the play, some extracurricular activity. And it looks like it could be a personal foul on Tri-Cities. You had number 78, Dominique Threat, yelling at one of his teammates as if he had made some sort of mistake after the play. So we'll get the signal from the referee, and it will be a 15-yard personal foul penalty. So with 9:05 to play, it's excellent field position for Lovejoy. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. And it's actually exactly what happened in the Lovejoy's first offensive drive. You had a turnover by the Bulldogs, and Benefield set up shop at the 41-yard line. He immediately connected with Ramos on a 38-yard pass play down to the 3, and that's what set up Travis Custis' first touchdown of the football game. The Auburn commit, Arshad Jackson, at the bottom of your screen. They're going to like him in Auburn, Alabama. 6'6", 245. You kidding me? Just a nightmare of an assignment for a defensive back. Benefield has 3 players in the backfield: Custus, Tyrell Brown, and Brandon Davis. Benefield will now move out of the pocket, and at quarterback is Custis. He'll give to Brown, and it's a great job by the Bulldogs defense to sniff that trickery out. That's a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll go back to the 44-yard line. So Lovejoy moving things around offensively, but the visitors were not fooled. Offensive coordinator Craig Chapman trying to dial up a little bit something different. And they will continue to go with this formation. Brandon Davis split out wide. Benefield split out wide. Davis in motion. The fake handoff. Custis will take it himself, and he'll bring it back to the original line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line. Gain of 3. And it'll be 3rd and 10 upcoming with under 8 minutes to play in the second quarter here in Hampton, Georgia. Jackson at the bottom of your screen. Or Ramos, rather. Jackson at the top of your screen. Davis in the slot. Benefield out of the shotgun. Finds a man and dropped. That was Terry Henderson, who was in the slot. It was a good throw by Benefield, but Henderson could not hold on around the 31-yard line. And that'll force the first punt of the ball game for Lovejoy. And it's Jaime Nunez who also handles the kicking duties. We've seen him go 3 for 3 on extra points, so a big stop by the Bulldogs defense. Nobody has a hand in the ground on their side of the football. They're doing sort of a chaos formation. They send everybody. Nunez kicks it, and it's a good one inside the 10. There was nobody even back deep for the Bulldogs. They will down it at the Tri-Cities 6-yard line. So with 7:32 to play, that's where McClendon and company will set up. Good job by the Wildcats special teams to force the Bulldogs to go 94 yards if they're going to get on the board. We have not heard from Torrey Jones, Anthony Cox, or Dwayne Gay. All three of those players have put up numbers in past games for Tri-Cities. McClendon, the handoff to Middlebrooks, but he wasn't going anywhere. And he's bottled up for a loss of 1 at the 5-yard line. 2nd and 11 upcoming with just over 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. 23-0. 3 touchdowns within the first 13 minutes of this ball game for Lovejoy, rather, and then a safety when a poor snap fell out of the back of the end zone and gave Lovejoy another 2 points. Deontay McDaniel now in the game in the backfield, joining McClendon. So from the shotgun formation, McClendon drops back into his own end zone, looking across the field, and it's caught. Nice play by Middlebrooks, Charles Middlebrooks. That play all the way out to the 16-yard line, and it'll be a first down, moving the chains by the Bulldogs. There was not a lot of room for McClendon to fit that football in there, but he was able to with a very accurate throw. And it hasn't happened much tonight, first downs for the Bulldogs, but a nice one there. And they have a little bit more breathing room as they were backed up on their own 6-yard line to start that drive. Coming in motion is Deontay McDaniel, the junior. The give is to Middlebrooks. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage and will run for no gain. 6:05 to play. 2nd and 10 coming up here from the 17-yard line. And you just got to think, if the Bulldogs can break a big play, it'll give them confidence going into halftime. Middlebrooks joins McClendon in the backfield. Shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers in a bunch formation at the top of the screen, and a false start penalty will again move the Bulldogs back. Penalties have just killed the visiting team tonight. This their 6th penalty before the snap on either side of the football. Across the defensive line, Zane Fields, Chris Christian, Nathaniel Norwood, and Mike Davis. Over the top, and that ball nearly intercepted. Flags coming in, and looks like Leandre Mitchell will attract a pass interference call, possibly coming on Lovejoy. We'll see as the officials confer. McClendon threw into double coverage. But then again, we've seen Mitchell make some plays on his own. And it will be pass interference on the defense. Mitchell has been hard to defend against so far for Lovejoy. He has 3 catches for 60 yards in this game. So that time they got a little physical with him, and the referees threw the flag. So the 15-yard penalty brings it out to the 29. Fresh set of downs. And Demetrius McClendon. Play action. And he was immediately hounded by Sinwan Whitehead. Whitehead came in on the blitz, and McClendon didn't even have any opportunity to look down the field for a receiver. Sinwan Whitehead, the safety, senior for Al Hughes. 23-0, the Lovejoy Wildcats in the lead. They're in the navy blue uniforms with the powder blue helmets. And in the white jerseys and the orange pants and the orange helmets are the Tri-Cities Bulldogs, going from right to left on your screen, and they'll burn their final timeout in this first quarter. So with 5:03 to play, no timeouts left for the Bulldogs, as Coach Kenneth Miller wants to talk things over. Join the conversation about high school sports. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That's at PlayOnSports. Hashtag GHSA Football. Once again, at PlayOnSports, and use that hashtag GHSA Football to join the conversation about all the games going on around Greater Atlanta tonight. And all over the state, for that matter. And really, so far, the only way you can describe Lovejoy, their performance, it's been dominant on both sides of the ball. Matter of fact, they've scored on special teams, offense, and defense in all three phases. If you look at that safety, McClendon looks out wide at his receiver, Raekwon Morgan, gives him a sign. Morgan at the bottom of your screen. McClendon rolls to his right, throws out of bounds, and he didn't see anything. Was looking for Leandre Mitchell, but he was covered nicely by the Wildcats defense. So McClendon just threw it away. 3rd and 10 upcoming from the 29-yard line. The Bulldogs got out to the 29 after a pass interference call. Checking into the game is Vion Robinson and Eugene Fuller on defense. And checking out is Randy Anyanwu. 3rd and 10. Middlebrooks joins McClendon in the backfield. Shotgun formation. The give is to Middlebrooks, and he will lose a yard, and that'll force 4th and 11 from the 28. Another punt coming up for Chris Hernandez. Let's see if they can figure out the issues with the snap. The last time Tri-Cities attempted a punt, the snap was short of Hernandez, and it rolled past him and out of the back of the end zone. 4:21 and counting here left in the second quarter. The punt is away, and it's a good one. Back deep, Brandon Davis to receive it. He'll let it go, and it'll lay rest at the 34-yard line of Lovejoy. Nice punt by Hernandez, sort of shifting the field position there. And Lovejoy will have to do something they're not used to tonight, and that's actually play with something other than a short field. Turnovers and other things have given Benefield and company very easy opportunities in terms of drives down the field. Split out wide. At the top of your screen, Jamichael Ramos. At the bottom of your screen, Arshad Jackson. The give, though, to Custus. Custus to the 40, to the 45, 50, and out of bounds just inside the Tri-Cities half at the 49-yard line. That run good for 17 yards. That's the longest one on the day for Custus. So the Georgia Tech commit showing why Paul Johnson likes him on the offensive side of the ball. Benefield taking the play from the sideline. And the give is to the fullback, Jonathan Griffin. And the senior takes that one inside the 45 to the 43. 2nd and 4 coming up for Lovejoy. 3:38 to play, 23-0 your score. The home team on top. So again, we've been mentioning it all game, but 4 major program commits playing in this game right now. 2 for Tri-Cities, both Georgia Tech commits. And we have an Auburn commit and a Georgia Tech commit on the offensive side of the football for the Wildcats. Benefield takes the snap out of the shotgun, gives to Custus. He's one of the Georgia Tech commits. He fights his way to the 35, inside the 35 to the 34. Flag down. It's going to be a face mask, so tack on another 15 yards to the end of that run, which was already good for 9 yards. Custus running hard on this drive, and it's only of the 5-yard variety, so it'll only take him down to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, though. Custus with 2 runs on the drive for a total of 26 yards. Jeff Murphy split out to the top of your screen. Arshad Jackson will go into the slot. Jamichael Ramos at the bottom of your screen. Those are your 3 receivers. Jonathan Griffin to the right, Custus to the left. The give is to Custus, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Inside the 15, to the 10, 5, down to the 2-yard line. Huge run by Travis Custus. That'll be good for 28 yards. And they are just pounding it down Tri-Cities' throat right now with the senior, Travis Custus. .229 to play, 1st and goal, already with a 23-0 lead. Checking into the game is Jai Murphy at tight end. Or check that, Zane Fields. Benefield under center. Griffin the fullback. The give to Custus. Custus to the 5 outside, and he's bottled up. Nice open field tackle by number 23, Devin Price, the junior. Big tackle for a loss there. It'll go down as a loss of 2. Ramos, the tall wide receiver. He'll split outside at the bottom of your screen. He's got one-on-one coverage. Let's see if Benefield takes a shot with him or if he sticks with the hot hand in Custus. I formation. Ramos comes in motion. Play action. Benefield, end zone, and that's off the hands of Jonathan Griffin, the fullback. 3rd and goal now coming up for Lovejoy. Nice little defensive stand here by the Tri-Cities Bulldogs. Clock stopped at 1:13 here at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. Getting close to halftime. Lovejoy in control and looking to add to that lead. Once again, Ramos at the top of your screen. Arshad Jackson in as a tight end. The give is to Custus. He breaks to the outside into the end zone. Touchdown. 3rd TD of the game for Travis Custus, the senior running back for Lovejoy, getting his 2012 playoff run off to a good start. So at the 107 mark, it's 29-0, could be 30-0 here in a second, pending Jaime Nunez's extra point attempt. We mentioned in the open that Travis Custus is a very dynamic running back, one that a lot of college programs have been looking at. And he is showing exactly why. The snap, the hold is a good one, and it's through by Nunez, 30-0. Lovejoy on top in front of their home fans. 1:07 to play in the first half. Remember, guys, for all the live scoring and highlights of all the games shown on Play On Sports, go to www.playonsports.com/football playoffs. Looking ahead to the next round, if you take a gander at the bracket, the winner of tonight's contest here in Hampton will go on to play the winner of the Lowndes-Marietta game. Some powerhouses in that part of the bracket. Talk about Grayson. About ready to get back here into play. It's good to see A.J. Cummings out there. Cummings was shaken up earlier in the game, but he is one of the two back deep. Nunez will pooch it, and we're going to get some sort of a legal procedure call or an offsides call. Yeah, it'll be a legal procedure on the Wildcats as they try to sort of an onside squib kick. And they'll move it back 5 yards and do it again. It was a good job by number 44, Michael Spencer, the freshman, for Tri-Cities to fall on it. The band's getting ready to perform at halftime. And the home side has really filled out nicely, the crowd. A lot of people coming out to see their team in first round action. Nunez's kick, he'll go deep with it this time. And it's taken at the 5-yard line to the 25-30, 35-40. And this is Devin Price. Devin Price only the kicker to beat. And he is brought down at the 23-yard line by Nunez. But a huge play, and hopefully perhaps a momentum builder going into halftime for the visiting team, down 30-0, and that's Devin Price taking the kickoff 75 yards nearly down to the 21 of Lovejoy. First big play that Tri-Cities has been able to break all day. Keep an eye at the bottom of your screen. Leandre Mitchell has been the one offensive player who's really stuck out. Middlebrooks is now split out in the slot. Snap taken by McClendon out of the shotgun. It's fumbled. He regathers it, throws it, and was looking for Mitchell, but it was nowhere near his tall senior receiver. Raekwon Morgan and Leandre Mitchell, the two primary receivers, they're out there as targets for McClendon. Middlebrooks, the running back, will again split out in the slot. And those are your three receivers. In the game at tailback is Deontay McDaniel. McClendon looking end zone. And that ball is broken up. Nice play by Brandon Davis, who has already taken an interception back for a touchdown tonight. It was Mitchell he was looking for on the fade route, one-on-one coverage, but nice hops displayed by the 5'8" Davis. And here comes Eugene Fuller checking into the game on the defensive side of the football for Lovejoy. 3rd and 10 from the 21. Bulldogs haven't been able to move it anywhere past where Devin Price returned that kickoff to. Morgan at the bottom of your screen. He's split out wide against Davis. In motion is Middlebrooks, and a flag, and we're going to get a false start. Another pre-snap penalty here for the Bulldogs, and that'll move them back 5 yards. 3rd and 15 now from the 26 with 44 seconds to play. Going from right to left on your screen, Tri-Cities trying to get on the board. McClendon out of the shotgun. And we're going to get a second straight false start on the offense. There's just too much movement up front by the Tri-Cities Bulldogs. Of course, both of these schools have sent players to the NFL. Lovejoy, probably the most prominent one, Tashard Choice, the running back for the Buffalo Bills, as we get back to action. 44 seconds to play. 3rd and 20 now after the 2 penalties. McClendon drops back. He's going deep for Mitchell, and that ball is nearly intercepted by Brandon Davis. But he dropped it. And we'll have to see if a field goal attempt is upcoming. And it looks as if that will be the case. So this will be a 48-yard attempt for Chris Hernandez. And we'll see what kind of range Hernandez has, down 30-0 here. The kick, and it is blocked. You've got Davis back there returning it. He's taken it to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 30. Davis is going to take this blocked field goal back for a touchdown with 20 seconds left in the first half. And it's 36-0. So Brandon Davis has scored 2 touchdowns tonight, one on an interception return of the 90-yard variety, and this one of the block kickoff return variety of nearly 80 yards. And I'm telling you, Lovejoy has scored in literally every way you could think of tonight. A safety, a blocked kickoff, or blocked kick field goal return, an interception return, a run. Got to give Davis credit. He kept playing as Hernandez's kick was blocked, and he was in perfect position. We're going to get an offsides here on Charles Middlebrooks. And with all these penalties and turnovers, you hope that Tri-Cities isn't unwinding here too early. So in the first round of playoff action, it is 36-0 on the stroke of halftime here at 12 Oaks Stadium, where Lovejoy has not lost this entire season. The snap is high, but it's gathered and put through by Jaime Nunez, 37-0. With, again, 19 seconds left to play in the first half. But we were mentioning earlier, Tashard Choice went on to play in the NFL for the Cowboys and now the Bills from Lovejoy. For Tri-Cities, Randy Thomas played for the New York Jets and the Washington Redskins. Kalimba Edwards played for the Detroit Lions. Jonas Jennings had some time in the NFL with the Bills and the 49ers. So Tri-Cities, a program too that produces some talent. Another one for Lovejoy, current Denver Broncos running back Mario Fannin. So Nunez readies for yet another kickoff here in this first half. Tell you what though, look out for Devin Price, who returned his last kickoff nearly 75 yards. And they're going to go in the other direction this time. It'll be with A.J. Cummings. Cummings out to the 20, or the 15 rather, and stopped at the 16 at the 13-second mark. The Bulldogs offense just has not had a chance to catch a break tonight. McClendon marched his team down the field, put him into field goal range last drive, but the kick was blocked, and Brandon Davis scored his second touchdown of the first half for the Wildcats. And they're just going to take a knee and take this game into the locker room at halftime as the clock ticks down. So Al Hughes has to be pleased for his team's effort here in front of their home fans. 37-0, blanking the Tri-Cities Bulldogs here in the first half at 12 Oaks Stadium. And once again, the winner of this game will go on to play Lowndes, and the winner of the Lowndes and Marietta matchup. So we are at halftime here at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. It's the home team, Lovejoy, up 37-0 on Tri-Cities. You're listening to high school football on PlayOnSports.com. Neil Malone with you. We will be back for more in the second half just in a few moments.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Welcome back to 12 Oaks Stadium here in Hampton, Georgia. Neil Malone with you on PlayOnSports.com. Folks, remember, for live scoring and highlights of all the games shown on Play On Sports, go to www.playonsports.com/football playoffs. Well, it's 37-0 here as the second half gets set to open up. And, of course, it's the Lovejoy Wildcats on top. Travis Custus, the Georgia Tech commit, the running back for the Wildcats, has 3 scores in the first half. Really started to take charge near the end of that second quarter. And Brandon Davis, the other story for the Wildcats as well, the defensive back, took an interception back for a touchdown, 90-yard return off a McClendon interception there in the early second quarter. And then near the end of that second quarter, Davis was back deep, and a field goal by Chris Hernandez of the Bulldogs was partially blocked. Davis then took that about 70 yards for his second score of the first half, and neither of those came on the offensive side of the football. Well, the clock says just about 1 minute until we get back underway here in Hampton, Georgia. And we do want to remind you folks to join the conversation about high school sports. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at PlayOnSports, hashtag GHSA Football. It's where you can get online and talk about all the games that are going on. And we do have a couple scores for you. Speaking of those games, let's start with the ones that have implications within this bracket. And it's Marietta, maybe a surprise to some, up 16-3 on Lowndes in the second quarter. Another game in that bracket, the mighty Grayson, they're up 35-6 on Wheeler in the second quarter. And it's North Gwinnett rounding out that side of the GHSA playoff bracket. They're up 28-7 on Johns Creek High School. Of course, we mentioned Grayson. That features the #1 recruit by many recruiting services, Robert Kimdiche, who was committed to Clemson and then decided to open his recruitment back up. And it's one thing, Lovejoy is up 37-0, but if they are to look ahead, there are some very, very talented football teams in this bracket that they're going to have to get past if they want to make it to any sort of a title game. Well, we're about ready. The Bulldogs will kick from their own 40-yard line. It's Chris Hernandez. And back deep is the aforementioned Brandon Davis. Back there with him is Tyrell Brown. So Brown and Davis will get ready as their team is up 37-0 here to start the second half at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. The kick from Hernandez will end up with Tyrell Brown from his own 12. Crosses the 15 to the 20. Tyrell Brown to the 25, to the 30. Brown to the 35, to the 40. Flags are coming in. We'll see if this one will come back. Brown ends up at the 48-yard line of Lovejoy. But multiple referees threw laundry on the field, and it will, in fact, be a block in the back on the home team. So that impressive run by Tyrell Brown, the senior, will unfortunately have to come back, and that is where Alejandro Benefield, the 6'3" southpaw quarterback for Lovejoy, will set up shop. He'll be at the 22-yard line, 11:47 to play here in the third quarter. 1st and 10. Benefield enjoying a heck of a season at the quarterback position, completing over 60% of his passes. Average per completion is just staggering, 18 yards. And he has 23 touchdowns to go along with just 4 interceptions. Benefield, the give to Custus, who was probably the player of the first half. Custus will get forward progress out to about the 29-yard line, a pickup of 2. So 2nd and 8. Benefield very efficient in that first half. Didn't need to do too much. Defense and special teams scored. And Custus, the tailback, was able to get a lot done on the ground. Going across that goal line 3 times in the first half. The big tight end, Arshad Jackson. He'll be at the top of your screen. Coming back across to the near side is Jamichael Ramos. And in the slot, Jeff Murphy. So those are your 3 receivers here in this setup. Custus will be to Benefield's right. And the fullback, Jonathan Griffin. And they're going to actually huddle back up. So 10:59 to play in this third quarter. There's some sort of delay here. The referees were conferring with head coach Al Hughes of Lovejoy. Hughes sitting there at midfield. So here we go, 2nd and 8 from the 29-yard line. Arshad Jackson split out to the bottom of your screen. In motion comes Jeff Murphy. Benefield in the shotgun. He'll give it off to Custus to the 35 out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Pickup of about 7 and close to a first down. We'll see where they mark it. Looks like it'll be about a yard shy. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Wildcats. Wildcats in those powder blue helmets, navy blue uniforms going from left to right. And Kenneth Miller's Bulldogs in the orange helmets, orange pants, and white jerseys. Benefield takes the snap. The give is to Custus. He'll get the first down and more, but a flag down. Custus breaking through 30, 20, 10, 5, end zone. But this one could be coming back with a holding penalty, and that is exactly what's going to happen. So a highlight reel play by Custus will unfortunately have to come back, and the Wildcats, instead of going up 43-0, they will be faced with a 3rd and 11 after that holding call. But you can just see how athletic Custus is. We'll back him up all the way to the 30-yard line. Mentioned Lovejoy never lost here at home. Their one loss on the season came on the road at Colquitt County. They had ripped off 8 successive wins coming into this game. Benefield from the shotgun. 4 wide receiver set. Dropping back. Coming across is Jackson. Benefield takes it himself out to about the 37-yard line, 36 rather, and he will be short of the first down. And they're going to send on the punt team. So a good stop by the Bulldogs to start off this second half at 12 Oaks Stadium. Never know what can get your team going. And a 3 and out will always do the trick. And back deep is Leandre Mitchell. The punt by Nunez is a short one, and it'll be downed by Lovejoy at the 30 of Tri-Cities. So with 9:22 to play, Lovejoy thwarted on their first drive attempt of the second half, and it'll go back to Demetrius McClendon and the Tri-Cities Bulldog offense. There's been a little bit of a connection between McClendon and senior receiver Leandre Mitchell, number 8 at the bottom of your screen. They've connected for 60 yards, a total of 60 yards on 3 receptions. But that has been about it. McClendon hands the ball off and stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage is Charles Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks just has not been able to get anything going, and that run will go for no gain. Mentioned earlier that both of these teams came in with shutout victories. 35-0 win over Douglas County for Tri-Cities and a 56-0 win over Alcovy by Lovejoy. But it's been all Wildcats today. Raekwon Morgan split out at the bottom of your screen. In the slot, A.J. Cummings. Leandre Mitchell at the top of your screen. There's a little screen pass, and that will go out to the 37-yard line. Making the catch was Brandon Tilgman. So with 8:18 to play, and we have an injured player on the far side. It looks like it was the ball carrier Tilgman. So 8:14 to play. That did not look like a good one. As the medical staff attends to the junior wide receiver, we will take a brief break here on PlayOnSports.com. Once again, 8:14 to play here in the third quarter. 37-0. Lovejoy leads Tri-Cities. All right, Neil Malone back with you at 12 Oaks Stadium here in Hampton, Georgia. Short injury break there. Clock is running under 8 minutes now. Interesting, a couple plays ago, Demetrius McClendon, the quarterback for Tri-Cities, was limping onto the field. We'll see, we'll have to monitor that as he hands the ball off. And across the 40-yard line, was that enough for a first down? It looks like it was. That was Antonio Wilcoxon. So there you go. The Bulldogs moving the chains on their first possession of the second half. Ball placed on the 40-yard line. Wilcoxon, his third carry of this football game. A.J. Cummings, the speedy wide receiver, split out at the bottom of your screen. In the slot, the first we've seen of Dwayne Gay. That pass caught on the far side by Leandre Mitchell. That'll be a gain of 4. Solid little first down pickup for Tri-Cities. Well, if you saw or heard it at halftime, fantastic job by both high schools' bands putting on performances on the field at halftime. Really pumping up this crowd. Under 7 to play here in the third quarter. Gay again in the slot. Cummings and Mitchell, your wide receivers up top. He's going for Mitchell over the top. It's caught at the 35-30, inside the 25 to the 24. Leandre Mitchell and Demetrius McClendon connect yet again. And it's a big play. Well, we'll go for 20, or check that. Go for 30 yards. And a timeout will be called by Lovejoy after that big play by the visitors. So you got to like the way the Bulldogs have come out here in the second half. They get a stop on defense, and then they start marching down the field. And again, they go back to Leandre Mitchell. Haven't heard too much from the two high-profile guys on the Tri-City side. Jeremy Hall, the offensive guard / defensive tackle. Hall selected Georgia Tech. Obviously, these are verbal commitments. They haven't signed anything. But selected Georgia Tech over Mississippi, Purdue, South Florida, Tennessee, and Virginia Tech, among others. And Shamir Devine had offers from a lot of the big-time schools, including Florida State, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, USC, but opted also to stay here in Atlanta and commit to Paul Johnson's Yellow Jackets. .6:42 to play here in the third quarter, and it's the Bulldogs trying to get on the board. In motion is Mitchell. The give is to Wilcoxon, and Wilcoxon takes it for a gain of 3 down to the 22-yard line of Lovejoy, just outside of the red zone. And again, you see the quarterback, McClendon, limping onto the field for Tri-Cities. We haven't seen any of Kareem Wallace today. McClendon drops back, looking to his right. That ball's caught at the 6-yard line by Leandre Mitchell. Second big connection on the drive, but Mitchell is down hurt, and this could be devastating for Tri-Cities. He's slow to get up. And Mitchell ran straight off the field after that big play. Play was good for 17 yards. And Mitchell was slow to get up and is immediately running down the Tri-City sidelines. Clearly trying to walk off some sort of injury. He's back at his own 40-yard line as his teammates now try to punch it in. First and goal, 5:24 to play. Here's Tri-Cities from the 6. The give is up the middle to Middlebrooks, and he's bottled up at the 4-yard line after a 2-yard gain. It'll be second and goal from the 4-yard line. Checking in his absence was Bakari Bethea. And a timeout now called by Lovejoy. That's their second used already here in the first 7 minutes of the second quarter. And we'll have to keep an eye on whether the Bulldogs playmaker, Leandre Mitchell, will be able to return. It looks like he was getting back into the huddle. Folks, remember to join the conversation about high school sports, and you can do that on Facebook and Twitter by following us at Play On Sports. And join in that conversation using the hashtag GHSA Football. Lots of people talking high school playoffs, lots of exciting first-round matchups on Twitter. If you use that hashtag GHSA Football, can join that conversation as we have all sorts of matchups going on across the entire state. Second and goal from the 4-yard line. McClendon under center. The give is to Middlebrooks, and he is stopped inside the 3-yard line. It'll be third and about 3 to get that touchdown. Raekwon Morgan split out to the left. Leandre Mitchell is back in the game. That's good news. A.J. Cummings in the slot. And another penalty, unfortunately, here for Tri-Cities. Somebody was moving up front. We'll see who it's on. And it's actually going to be against Lovejoy, offsides. So that'll be half the distance to the goal. Can the offensive line get big here? And punch one in on the ground. Let's see what Kenneth Miller can dial up here. Him and his Bulldog staff. 3rd and goal from the 1. Bulldogs looking for their first points. Under 4 to play. 37-0 Lovejoy lead. The give to Middlebrooks. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. So at the 3:58 mark, Charles Middlebrooks, the junior running back, punches it in. It's now 37-6, and Tri-Cities is on the board here in Hampton, Georgia at 12 Oaks Stadium. An impressive touchdown drive that went about 65 yards. And now Chris Hernandez comes in for the point after. The snap, it's a high one, the hold, and Hernandez knocks it through. 37-7. So Kenneth Miller, his team showing some life, coming out of the locker room and grabbing the first touchdown of the second half. And it was a well-sustained drive. And the first signs of the Wildcats defense breaking a little bit. So with 3:58 to play, Alejandro Benefield and company will get the football back and attempt to add to their lead. Folks, for all the best coverage of Georgia football throughout the playoffs, go to WSBTV.com. That's WSBTV.com. Chris Hernandez on the kick from his own 40. Be Brandon Davis and Tyrell Brown back deep. Tyrell Brown took a kick return all the way out to the 48-yard line to open up this second half, but it was unfortunately called back for a penalty. Hernandez with the run up and the boot. It's going to be fielded by Davis at his own goal line. Davis crosses the 10 to the 15 to the 20 to the 25, 30. Davis to the 40. Davis to the 50, the 45, and inside the 45 all the way to the 42 of the Bulldogs. Brandon Davis continues to be a thorn in the side of Tri-Cities. You almost thought he would get his third type of return on that play. He's already returned a blocked field goal and an interception for a touchdown. Now, I haven't seen any record books, but you'd have to believe that returning a third kick in a different variety is almost unprecedented in high school football. So Benefield will lead the offensive unit as they attempt to add to their 30-point advantage here with 3:47 to go in the third quarter at 12 Oaks Stadium. This was the third year in a row that Lovejoy took the district title, or the region rather. The give is to Custus. Custus across the 22 to the 24. Pickup of a couple of yards. Again, the winner of this game moves on to play the winner of Lowndes and Marietta. The score of that game right now is 16-6. Lowndes added a field goal, so Marietta still leading that game in the third quarter. Ramos at the bottom of your screen. He looks towards, Benefield looks towards Jeff Murphy, and it's off the fingertips of the senior wide receiver wearing the number 10 jersey. And quickly a third down upcoming. Tell you, you look at Lovejoy's offensive unit and you just see how physical they are. Jackson and Ramos are two imposing targets, as well as Benefield. Benefield takes it. He's got Ramos in stride at the 40. First down, Wildcats. And that one, the connection from Benefield and Ramos, they made it just look easy. Jamichael Ramos, he had the first big play of the ball game, a 38-yard catch down to the 3-yard line on Lovejoy's first offensive possession. .240 to go and counting here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Benefield, the give, and he'll actually keep it himself. He'll dump it off to Custus. A little dump off, and the running back, Custus, will take it out to the 49-yard line. Pickup of about 7 on the play. We've seen Custus do it on the ground, and now he's catching passes out of the backfield. This guy has been very, very impressive so far. Had a long touchdown called back earlier in the quarter. 2nd and 3 from the 48. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 37-7 Lovejoy. Arshad Jackson in the slot. The give to Custus. He cuts it outside, 50, 45, 40, and out of bounds at the 37. An 11-yard run by Travis Custus for another Wildcats first down. Custus, a 3-star recruit, as denoted by Rivals.com. Chose Georgia Tech over Michigan State, Mississippi State, South Florida, Clemson, Miami, among others. 1:37 to play. Benefield out of the shotgun. He looks to his left. He's got a man, but just out of the reach again of Jeff Murphy. That's the second time on the drive that the lefty Benefield has looked in the slot to Murphy, the third receiver on this team. But both were just a little too high for the 5'10" senior receiver. Second and 10. Very efficient offense. You can see why Lovejoy is the #1 scoring offense in Class 6A. They can do it in the air and on the ground. Out of the shotgun, Benefield looking. He's got Arshad Jackson, and Jackson, with his first catch of the ball game, takes it to the 32. Pickup of 6, and that'll force about a 3rd and 4. While we're at it, we were talking about Custus. Jackson, a Clemson commit. He also had Arkansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Michigan State, NC State, South Carolina, Tennessee. I mean, pretty much had everybody recruiting him, and he chose to give his pledge to Gene Chizik and his staff over there in Auburn, not too far from Atlanta. He's at the bottom of your screen. In motion is Murphy. Benefield hands it to Custus. Custus up the middle, the 10, the 5, end zone touchdown. His 4th of the game 43-7. And Lovejoy is now all over the visiting Tri-Cities Bulldogs. That touchdown comes at the 33-second mark in the third quarter, and it was Custus. He appeared to have nowhere to run up the middle, but he just burst through the seam, and his breakaway speed is pretty special, folks. Now has 28 rushing touchdowns on the campaign. And Jaime Nunez in for the extra point. There's a flag down on the field. And again, it was Tri-Cities jumping offside. That penalty is going to be declined, and Nunez with another try coming up. And that kick is up and good. So 44-7 as we get set to close out this third quarter at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia, the home of the Lovejoy Wildcats. Al Hughes' team not having any trouble with the visiting Tri-Cities Bulldogs. It was another impressive drive. I tell you, Benefield has looked very, very good at quarterback. Looks like a nice young prospect. Alejandro is a senior. So Jaime Nunez to kick it from his own 40. Back deep is Devin Price and A.J. Cummings. High school band always providing a nice soundtrack here in the background. So a 37-point advantage for this home team. Nunez a little pooch kick. The ball's on the ground. It looks like the visitors were able to recover it, and they did. Jumping on it was Isaiah Anderson, the sophomore, number 57. They've tried that kick a couple times tonight. It looks like Lovejoy's just trying to pile it on here. Well, they have scored over 40 points in each of their last 6 games. They topped Druid. They put 58 up on Druid Hills, 41 up on Rockdale, 50 on Morrow, 60 on Luella, 51 on Newton, and then 56 on Alcovy on senior night. So this is nothing new for the Wildcats, putting up huge offensive numbers. McClendon takes it and gives the reverse to Cummings. Cummings crosses the 45 to the 46 and picks up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 46-yard line. Well executed play there. And you continue to see McClendon limping into that huddle. Certainly isn't very mobile at the moment for the visitors. We have a whistle blowing the third quarter dead. So as the clock hits 0, the teams will head to the sidelines and prepare for the fourth quarter here in this first round matchup in the GHSA playoffs. And it's the home team, Lovejoy, on top over Tri-Cities, 44-7. Neil Malone with you on PlayOnSports.com. We'll take a quick break and be right back for the fourth quarter.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3, beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Neil Malone with you for the fourth quarter. About to get started here at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. You have the Lovejoy Wildcats leading the Tri-Cities Bulldogs 44-7. That ball tipped in the backfield. Demetrius McClendon trying to get that on a screen pass, and it was a nice play in the backfield by Jonathan Gore. Gore getting his hands up. They always tell defensive linemen when they see a screen coming, just get your hands up. And it paid off there. Middlebrook's still the tailback. We'll join McClendon in the backfield to his right. McClendon out of the shotgun. And he again has trouble handling that football. It's happened 3 or 4 times today where he's failed to catch that snap. Had to fall on it there and take a loss at the 39-yard line. And that will unfortunately put an end to the Tri-Cities drive. So with just under 11 to play in this fourth quarter, it'll go back to the high-powered offense of Lovejoy. And back deep is the always dangerous Brandon Davis. And a timeout called real quick. Kenneth Miller wants to go over the special teams, make sure everybody's in place. Because you're kicking it to a dangerous man, a guy that has been one of the top players in this game. In the first half, returned an interception and a blocked field goal for touchdowns. And also brought back a kickoff over 50 yards. And they're going to change things around. They're actually going to send Tyrell Brown back. So Tyrell Brown, another dynamic kick returner. He stands at his own 30-yard line, waiting the punt from Hernandez. That was Tri-Cities' first timeout of this second half. They have 2 remaining. Lovejoy's already used 2, and therefore have 1 remaining. High snap, and it's not handled well by Hernandez. It's tipped forward. Can they pick it up? It's into the end zone, and falling on it is Lovejoy. That's a touchdown. Eventually falling on the football is Jared Smith, the senior linebacker. And Smith, with that fumble recovery, will just add insult to injury. It is now 50-7. And that is the second time tonight that there has been trouble with the snap off a punt. As a matter of fact, the Wildcats have put up 16 points coming from punting miscues by the Bulldogs. Low snap, the extra point by Nunez is good, and it's 51-7 with 10.5 minutes to play. Get you an update on the other scores from this specific bracket. Grayson has increased their advantage to 42-6 over Wheeler. That game in the third quarter. Marietta still holding on to that 10-point advantage. They're up 23-13 on Lowndes in the third. And the other game of note, North Gwinnett maintaining that 28-7 lead over Johns Creek High School. Again, that game in the third quarter. St. Pius all over Dawson County, 65-21. North Cobb laying it on Valdosta, 35-14. Both of those games in the fourth quarter. Parkview and Walton, a low-scoring game, 7-7 in the fourth. And we'll get you some more scores here in just a moment, but 10.5 minutes to play here at 12 Oaks Stadium. And following another special teams touchdown by Lovejoy, the lead is now increased to 51-7. Jaime Nunez the kick. Cummings and Devin Price back deep. It's on the ground to Price, who has a 75-yard kick return under his belt already today. Price out to the 20, breaks it out to the 24 before he's brought down on the far side. Making the tackle was Aaron Davis, just a sophomore. You have to see if Coach Al Hughes starts to get some other guys playing time. It looks as if that is the case. Clock continues to run under 9:45 to play here in the game. Full credit to the Tri-Cities band, who continues to play there on the far side. So here's McClendon. He'll set up shop from his own 25. In motion is Mitchell. The give is to Middlebrooks, and he will lose 2 yards. That defensive line has been physical all night for Lovejoy. Coming into the game on the defensive side of the football is Jared Williams for the Wildcats. So it looks as if Lovejoy will remain undefeated here at home this season. But again, we mentioned there's a lot of tough teams in the bracket that they'll have to get by after tonight. 3 wide receiver set, 1 running back in the backfield. Shotgun formation, McClendon. Play action pass, going deep for Mitchell. And that ball is caught at the 40-yard line. Out to the 45-yard line is Leandre Mitchell. Tell you what, if there has been a bright spot for Tri-Cities, it has been Leandre Mitchell, the senior wide receiver, with 6 catches tonight, and all of them are over 15 yards. Seems like one of those receivers where you can literally just throw it up in man coverage and he'll end up hauling it in. Two running backs out of the shotgun, going deep, and that ball is overthrown. A flag coming in late. It was again McClendon looking for Mitchell. The ball looked as if it was in that uncatchable category, but nonetheless, they're going to call pass interference on the home team. So a fresh set of downs for the Tri-Cities Bulldogs as Leandre Mitchell continues to demand plenty of attention from those Lovejoy defensive backs. So they'll mark it off from the 44, and that'll bring the football into Lovejoy territory. 1st and 10 from the 41. 7:40 to play. Cummings in the slot. Morgan out wide. The give is to Wilcoxon, and Wilcoxon will get it back to the line of scrimmage at best. Tell you how these two teams did in their conferences this season. Lovejoy finished in first. Obviously, we mentioned their region title. They went 6-0 in conference play. Here's McClendon out of the shotgun. 2nd and 11 from the 42. Going deep for Mitchell, and it's incomplete. Coverage, good coverage at that by Sinwan Whitehead. Whitehead, one of the leaders of the defense. But Lovejoy was just one game better than Newton. And from there, pretty much everybody else in the conference struggled. Tri-Cities finished 3rd in their conference. Check that 4th behind Hughes, Noonan, and East Coweta. That ball is across the 36 to the 35. A good gain there, but won't be enough for a first down. So they're going to leave the offense on the field. Checking into the game, Bakari Bethay, senior wide receiver number 19. And why not? At this stage in the game, why not just go for it? You've had some trouble on special teams. Three wide receivers. Will Coxon in the backfield. Dropping back McClendon. Pump fakes, and he's not going to find anybody. Pass was intended for Bethay, but that'll be a turnover on downs for the Bulldogs as we creep under 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. 51-7 advantage for Lovejoy. Colquitt County up 17-10 in the third quarter over McEachern. Norcross up 34-7 over Chattahoochee. Lassiter, a comfortable lead over Brookwood, 21-6 in the fourth quarter. And Alpharetta trailing Mill Creek 38-24 in the third. New quarterback in the game for the home team. As a matter of fact, a new unit. And the handoff. And that ball is carried across the 35-yard line to the 37. That's Jai Murphy on the carry. In the game at quarterback is Cameron Hill. And he's got a new complement of receivers as well. Caleb Sims at the bottom of your screen. The give, this one is to Markel Willis. And Willis can't pick up anything. Matter of fact, it looks like he lost a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 9 from the 36-yard line. Cam Hill, just 7 for 9 in the air this season, but 100 yards passing. No touchdowns and an interception. Markel Willis remains in the game as the tailback. Also split out is Preston Williams. 6'4" at the bottom of your screen. Here comes Tyrell Brown in motion. The give is to Brown, and he's going to lose a couple yards. He is stopped at the 34-yard line. And a quick 3 and out there from the second string offense of Lovejoy. So Jaime Nunez in to punt. Back deep is A.J. Cummings at about his own 30. .225 to play. Nunez, directional kick over Cummings' head. What a punt by Jaime Nunez. And that one's going to roll all the way to the 10-yard line. Had about a 60-yard punt from Nunez if you include the friendly bounce. So under 2 minutes. I mean, really, this Lovejoy team has just been rolling on all cylinders in all facets of the game. (51-7). Lovejoy will move on to play the winner of Marietta and Lowndes. And let's get you a score update with that game. Still 23-13 Marietta in that third quarter. McClendon gives it to Wilcoxon, and Wilcoxon takes it out for a 3-yard gain to the 13. Lovejoy hasn't played either of those teams. Speaking of Marietta and Lowndes. Under center is McClendon. The give is to Wilcoxon, and he shoots up the middle for another 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and about 5 as we tick under 40 seconds to play. So a big win here tonight at home. The Lovejoy Wildcats, in about 25 seconds, will move on to the second round of the Georgia High School Association Football Playoffs. Out of the shotgun, this could be the final play of the game. McClendon drops back. He's going to fire deep. That ball over the top, and it's caught by Mitchell. Can Mitchell get past the defenders to the 30 to the 25? To the 20, and makes a little move and into the end zone for a touchdown. As time expires, Leandre Mitchell, his team unfortunately is going to go home a loser tonight, but a huge play to cap off his high school career. That one, an 84-yard touchdown, highlighted by a flip into the end zone at the end. And I got to tell you, if there's one way to cap it off, you might as well do that. The flags were thrown because of the flip. It's 51-13 officially. And they're going to wave the flag and see if they make them attempt the extra point. But again, an 84-yard touchdown catch by Leandre Mitchell, capping off an impressive game for him. 7 grabs for well over 100 yards, almost 200 after that play. But the final, 51-13, Lovejoy topping the visiting Tri-Cities Bulldogs, and they will move on to the second round. All the home fans here at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia can go home happy tonight. Again, Marietta on top of Lowndes, 23-13 in the third quarter. And we will wrap everything up here from 12 Oaks Stadium in just a moment, but we will take a quick break first. Once again, the final, 51-13, Lovejoy over Tri-Cities. We'll be back in just one moment.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Welcome back to 12 Oaks Stadium, where the Lovejoy Wildcats, in front of their home fans, took out the Tri-Cities Bulldogs 51-13. A huge offensive performance, and really in all facets of the game. The Wildcats were able to grab touchdowns on defense, special teams, and offense today in what was really a tough task for the visitors from the start. Such a dynamic offense with quarterback Alejandro Benefield, running back Travis Custus, and of course the tight end, the Auburn commit Arshad Jackson. The player of the game tonight here on PlayOnSports.com is running back Travis Custus. 4 touchdowns in the victory tonight for Lovejoy. Custus on his way to Georgia Tech in college next year, but he is not ready to have his high school career end just yet as his Wildcats team moves on to the second round of the playoffs. They move to 10-1 on the season, while the Bulldogs from Tri-Cities fall to 4-7. Certainly disappointment on their part, but a highlight reel game by number 8, the wide receiver Leandre Mitchell, nearly 200 yards receiving, capped off by a touchdown there as time expired. That kind of the lone highlight in the game for the Bulldogs. Once again, guys, make sure for live scoring and highlights of all the games that Play On Sports is covering, go to www.playonsports.com/football playoffs. And also, make sure that you join the conversation about high school sports. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at PlayOnSports. And, of course, try to use that hashtag GHSA Football as you see on your screen. Once again, at PlayOnSports, hashtag GHSA Football. Well, that's pretty much it here from Hampton, Georgia at 12 Oaks Stadium, where the Lovejoy Wildcats take out the Tri-Cities Bulldogs 51-17 to move to 10-1 on the campaign and move on to the second round of the GHSA playoffs. I'm Neil Malone signing off. Thanks for listening on PlayOnSports.com.